Alrighty, the next bit. I actually can't remember. Anyway, that's where I was up to in the screen. So basically you just sit that in there loose. Don't bolt it up. The bolt spot's there and there. Don't bolt it up. Just sort of sit it in there. Put the rear window in, the rear quarter, and then you got to give it a bit of a tap. So I just used a very light mallet and just tapped it in all the way around. It doesn't like going down in here, so it takes a bit of work to work it into its own little home there. So it doesn't take it there, a little mucking around to get that to seal in properly. The rest of it seems pretty straightforward. So grab your Bailey's channels out then. So then you just pull that back out first, and just throw your Bailey channels in there, like so. Just put them in there so that they're all sitting in there, and then you bolt it in here, and you'll have a bit of loose Bailey channel out the top. So you sort of come in two sections, this section to stop there, and then the other one goes all the way around. So put your Bailey channel in, put that in. Bailey channels just pinch really tight, push in and then let go. They're really quite straightforward. Bolt it, and then this probably won't go. So you won't be able to do that one at this stage. So what you need to do is you need to work it. So with a hammer, like a very light mallet again, you got to hit that, tap, 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 tap all the way down, keep tapping. And it'll eventually sit into its own little groove into the quarter glass. Takes a bit of a fight. It doesn't like going in there. Maybe some lube, I don't know, not sure on that one. But anyway, it went in after a bit of tapping. Very light mallet, of course. So then what I did was I put that one in first. So that was quite difficult to get in. So I had to sort of lift it and position it and all that. So that was quite difficult to get in. And then I did the top two up here. And then I tightened this one properly. You may need to take this one out to get that one in first to get it started. And then this one's easier to push down and get in position. So anyway, so that's that one, that length there, and that's the quarter glass in. So then you just get the other little section that sits, you sort of see it, that little section that sits in there. It's a bit about a foot long. So you get that, put the Bailey channel in that, and then you feed it into its little home in here. You'll see the groove, there's a groove off this bit here, and it just sort of slides in behind it. So you'll see that. You'll see it when you pull the old door apart as well. So yeah, so just slide that in, make sure the Bailey channel's already in that small section. And then you just Bailey channel all the way up, and then all the way across, and that's where you end up joining in there. I had a fair bit of trouble getting the corners right, to be honest. I've actually had a lot of trouble to get them neat and pretty and all that, because when you bend the Bailey channel, you can't really find exactly where the corner is to cut the 90-degree section out so it bends nicely. It doesn't seem to bend nicely. So it's pretty tricky to get that right. It really is. And as you can see, that one there is still not really good. So I've got to do a little adjustment on that yet. Joining it, I just use the super glue. It's fine. Just soft super glue, not the hard, otherwise you'll scratch your window. So yeah, I just use the soft rubber super glue stuff. And that join's not too bad. That's pretty good to me. So yeah, so after that you get your glass and you slide your glass in. So what I did was I just sort of slid it into this edge first, and then twisted it a little bit and slid it into this. So make sure when you slide the glass in, you get it into both grooves. You just twist the whole glass on an angle. So you sort of come in above this bit here, in there, angle, and then you get it into the grooves. I don't know if I showed you. Anyway, so yeah, so just use the winder to get those little things in position. These plugs, so you just sit your little You'll see it when you take it out anyway. So just sit them in like that, so that the little groove is at the front, and you just plonk them in. Make sure you've got your little barrier between the runner and the glass. Otherwise it'll be no good. It'll scratch your glass and probably get stuck. I don't know what else causes it if you don't have the little barrier, but anyway, you need that. It takes a little bit of mucking around, to be honest, because you got to sort of position it. A little bit of mucking around, but eventually it goes in. It's not too bad. And then you just push that little lever, push the little button all the way in, and that locks it in. So that's the glass in. So then what you do is you wind the glass all the way to the top, and then you do your minor adjustments here to make sure the glass rides nicely. And then you just tighten everything up. As whatever's not tighten everything up. Throw your little insulator thing on there. I'm not sure what that's called. And yeah, so then you got to chuck your little bit over here on. There's a bit of foam, a little bit of trim. You'll see it. It's obvious. Bolt in the back, bolt in the front. They just sort of sits there, and I presume the foam's for to make when you put your door card in. Must neaten it up. So I'm just going to put my phone down for a sec. I've got to fling the door over. Oh, it's heavy now. So this bit, then you got to put your, I've left it like that so I can actually show you. So you got to put your little rubber piece in first. So they just sit with those little grooves like that. They just sit over. It's quite straightforward what it is. And then you get your trim piece. This bit needs to slide in first. So without it fitted, take that chrome piece off, as in it's not fitted yet. And you got to tap that bit in. And this is all part of it, this quarter little bit. You'll see it, and you got to tap that in. I had to use again a soft mallet. It was quite tight to get into its spot. So then what you have to do is tape just to protect it a bit, because you've got to sort of slide that in. So you got to sort of put that back in, and then again I had to use a little hammer, little mallet, and just tapped it, and then that slid into its little groove, and then it went home, and then you got your little nut on the back. And then the rest of it, you just bang it. You just tap it in, it'll go home, and then take the tape off. So then hinges, I'll chuck the hinges on in a minute. So yep, the hinges need to go on. That's my next job after this, but that's basically the door assembly done. Yeah, it's a bit of a job. Don't get me wrong, it's a bit of a job. Especially looking after paint while you're building stuff, and yeah, make sure you get one of these bloody things or something similar. They're like $40 or free second hand. Worth it just from working it at the right height. So that's basically the door built. So I just got to get the trim on that one there. Yet I forgot to put the trim on, as in the chrome strip, and a little bit of rubber on the thing. So next job is front doors. So this time I'm going to pull the front door apart first, that one there, my spare, and learn a lot more about where all the angles go and all that. So, and make sure I get all the photos of where all those, of all the locking mechanisms. This one's even going to be more crap on it because of the lock. So yeah, and it's a lot bigger and heavier, so bigger glass and all that. So anyway, that's where I'm up to. So it's rock and roll. 2 more doors to go. Rock on. So that's it. I'll do a separate video for the front doors, but I can't see them being that much different. But look, I'll just do some pointers maybe, if there's any differences on the front doors that are really dramatic, or that some pointers. I'll just do a short video on that. Okay, thank you.